So let's talk about cold storage. This is one of the more important sections when it comes to post-harvest. So you can clean your veggies right, you can wash them up, you can put them in the bins properly, everything else can be done correctly. But if you don't have a proper cooler or cold storage, you're still going to have some major issues. So what you want to remember is when you're dealing with a cold storage, first of all, depending on what you're dealing with for buildings or houses, you want to find a spot that is not always in direct sunlight. So the very first year that we started, we actually had a movable trailer, a covered trailer, and we used that for our cold storage. And very early on, we had some issues with that. It was painted black on the outside, and no matter how well we insulated that inside, it still would get too hot. We just couldn't keep up. So later, as the farm progressed and a bit more money came in, we had actually went down in the basement of this house that we're currently using, and we set up a room down there. The big thing to remember is you want to insulate. Make sure that it's airtight and that you can get it as good of insulation as possible. When you set that cooler up, 4 inches of insulation would be fantastic. Floor, walls, and roof. Definitely that roof. Make sure that roof is insulated. What this allows is when you set your air conditioner up and you hook your little CoolBot up to it, it will be able to keep up with the room. It'll be able to cool that room down and keep it cool. It'll keep the humidity out of it and it will work way better. What you want to do is you want to make sure that when those veggies, when they're primed, they're picked, they're at their peak, when they go down in there, you don't want to lose any quality. You want to be able to pull it out, take the lid off the bin, and the veggies are just pristine. Because this is what's going to happen. Now you're going to move to the selling stage, and you don't want all that quality that you tried to preserve just to be shot just because you didn't have a proper cooler. Now, when it comes to a cooler, we have realized this again. Usually the bigger the better. The reason for this is as the farm expands, a cooler gets filled up very quickly. And you want to make sure that you have enough room in your cooler for all your produce, but you want to be able to move around as well. You don't want to have to go down and be like, oh, I need the beets and they're on the bottom over here. And you can have issues with that. So even as us, Greenlight Farm is planning on expanding and changing their cooler again for the next farming season. We want to make sure that that quality stays 100%. We want it to look absolutely perfect. We don't want the cooler to damage that. Another important thing to remember with your cooler is that when you're setting up your air conditioning and your CoolBot, if you go on the CoolBot website, they will actually tell you what size of air conditioner, how many BTUs you're going to need for the size of your room. So, and you really need to take that information and use it properly. You have to use the proper size air conditioner. Otherwise, again, you will not get the quality. Furthermore, they also list a suggested amount of types, brands of air conditioners. And the first year, we went out, we bought just a regular no-name air conditioner, hooked it up. It worked, but it did not work well. We spent roughly $170 buying this air conditioner. Then I went back to the CoolBot website, dug a little deeper again, realized that there were certain brands that work better. So I went out again, bought a new air conditioner that was over $400, but it was actually less BTU, so it takes less energy. Technically, it shouldn't put out as much cold air, and it worked way better. We had such a better result. The temperature was so much more consistent. When we put hot produce in there, it cooled it down a lot quicker. So those quick little tips, you really need to, it's a very important part of market farming. Do not skip on the cooler. Do not cheap out on a no-name air conditioner. Buy that name brand. I guarantee you it'll work much better for you. And usually the warranty, if something happens, the warranty is better on those anyway. So take a look at it, size your room up, get the right BTU air conditioner, set it up, and it's gonna work much better for you. Your produce is gonna love it. The people buying your produce are gonna love the quality, and you'll just have a much better system.